I saw him again after 5 years. He was standing in the sun, smiling, but not at me. He was holding another girl's hand. My heart broke in that moment. I came back for him. I crossed miles, left everything just to say, I still love you. But he moved on. My name is Amelia. I am 26 years old. I lived in a small town for most of my life. The streets were quiet. The houses were small. Everyone knew each other. My school was near my home. I used to walk there every day. I had one close friend. He lived just 2 houses away from mine. We went to the same school, and we sat next to each other in class. We talked every day. We laughed at silly jokes. When I was sad, he listened. When I was sick, he brought me soup. He was kind, funny, and always near. When we were 19, I got into Harvard. I wanted to study more. I wanted to see the world. I wanted a good job. I was happy, but also sad. I did not want to leave him. One night, we sat on a bench outside my house. The stars were bright. The air was cold. I looked at him and said, "Will you wait for me?" He held my hand and said, "Yes, I will wait." So I left. Harvard was big. It was busy. I saw many new people. I studied hard. I stayed up late every night. I did not have much free time, but I still thought about him. Every night before I closed my eyes, I thought of his face. At first, we talked every day. He sent me messages. I sent him photos. We called on weekends. But slowly, things changed. Sometimes he did not reply fast. Sometimes I forgot to message him back. I said, "I am sorry. I am busy with exams." He said, "It's okay. I understand." We both tried to stay close, but the days were long. The weeks moved fast. Months passed. Then a year. Then 2. I told myself I will visit him soon, but I never did. I said, maybe next month. Then I said, maybe next year. But I was always busy. I wanted to finish my degree. I wanted to get a good job. I wanted to come back when I was someone he could be proud of. Then one day, I saw something that stopped my heart. I opened my phone and saw a photo from a friend. It was a birthday party in our old town. Many people were there. I looked at each face. Then I saw him. He looked the same. But there was a girl next to him. She was close. His arm was around her. She smiled at him, and he smiled back. I stared at the photo for a long time. I felt a deep pain in my chest. I asked myself, who is she? Is she just a friend? But in my heart, I knew the answer. I closed the photo and put my phone down. I sat on my bed. I did not speak. I did not move. My hands were cold. My eyes were full of tears. That night, I could not sleep. The next morning, I made a decision. I packed my bag. I bought a ticket. I was going back home. I wanted to see him. I wanted to ask him one thing. Did he wait for me? The trip was long. I sat near the window on the bus. I saw trees, fields, and small towns. My heart beat fast. I wanted to see him, but I was also scared. What if he didn't care about me anymore? What if he loved someone else? When I reached home, my mother hugged me. She said, "You look tired." I smiled and said, "Yes, a little." I did not tell her why I came back. I only thought about him. The next morning, I walked to the garage where he worked. The road was the same. The air was cool. I saw the same shop on the corner. I saw the same old man walking his dog. When I reached the garage, I stopped at the door. I took a deep breath. I looked inside. He was there. He was fixing a car. He wore a gray shirt with oil marks. His hands were dirty, but his face was still the same. I walked in. He looked up and saw me. He stood still. "Hi," I said. He looked at me for a moment. Then he said, "Emilia." I smiled. "Yes, I came back." He wiped his hands with a cloth. He looked down and then said, "Why now?" I felt my throat go dry. "I missed home. I missed you." He looked at me again. His eyes were not soft. They were quiet. "You left," he said. I waited for a long time, but you did not come." "I was busy," I said. "School was hard. Life was fast. But I always thought of you." He shook his head. "I sent messages. You stopped replying." "I didn't mean to," I said. I was tired. But I always cared." He put the cloth on the table. He looked at the car. Then he said, "I am with someone now." I did not speak. "Her name is Alice," he said. "She works at the clinic. We met last year." I felt my chest get heavy. I looked at the floor. I asked, "Do you love her?" He took a breath. "Yes, I think I do." My hands were cold. My face was warm. I wanted to cry, but I did not. "I came back for you," I said. "I thought you were waiting." He looked at me with sad eyes. "I waited, Emilia. But you were gone too long." I wanted to run, but my legs would not move. "I thought we had something," I said. "We did," he said. "But time changes things. I changed. Maybe you did too." I turned around. I walked out of the garage. The sun was warm, but I felt cold. I walked past the shop. I walked past the school. Everything looked the same, but I was not the same. I came back for him. But he didn't need me anymore. Before I share the rest of my story, I need to know, where are you listening from? Knowing someone hears me, understands me, gives me strength. I walked home slowly. My feet felt heavy. My eyes were full, but I did not cry. I looked at the trees, the houses, the sky. Everything was the same, but my heart was not the same. I thought of his face, his voice, his words. I waited for him, but he did not wait for me. At home, I sat in my old room. My mother brought me tea. She smiled and said, "Are you okay?" I said yes, but it was not true. My hands were cold. My tea got cold too. I did not drink it. I just sat on my bed and stared at the wall. My mind was full. I saw his smile. I saw her hand in his. I thought of the years I spent away. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought he would understand. I thought love could wait. That night, I could not sleep. I turned in bed again and again. The moonlight came through the window. I looked at the ceiling. I remembered the last time we sat on the bench. I remembered how he touched my hand. I remembered his words, "I will wait." But he did not wait. The next day, I walked around the town. I passed the school, the shop, the park. I saw two boys playing with a ball. I saw an old woman feeding birds. I saw happy faces. I smiled, but only a little. Then I saw someone I knew. It was my old teacher, Mrs. Ellen. She saw me and waved. "Amelia, you're back," she said. "How is Harvard?" "It's good," I said. I tried to smile. She looked at me and said, "You look tired." "I just have a lot on my mind," I said. She looked kind. She touched my arm and said, "It's okay. Life is not easy, but time helps." I nodded. I thanked her and walked on. Later that day, I saw my friend Helen at the market. She looked surprised. She said, "Amelia? Is that really you?" I said, "Yes, I came home." She smiled and said, "You look nice. I heard you went to Harvard." "Yes, I finished my study," I said. Helen looked around and then said, "Did you come to see him?" I looked at her. I did not speak. "I mean Scott," she said. "Yes," I said. "I came back for him." Helen looked sad. She said, "He changed, Amelia. He waited for a long time, but he felt alone. He tried to move on." I felt a tear fall down my cheek. I wiped it quickly. I said, "I understand." She said, "I am sorry." "He loved you?" "He really did." "I loved him too," I said. Helen gave me a hug. Then she said, "You are strong. You will be okay." That evening, I sat in the garden. The sky turned pink and blue. The wind was soft. I closed my eyes and listened to the leaves. I thought about my life. I thought about my time at Harvard. I worked hard. I studied every day. I made new friends. I learned many things. But I also lost something. I lost time. I lost moments. I lost love. I thought about going to see him again. I wanted to talk. I wanted to say more. I wanted to ask, "Do you still think of me?" But I was afraid. I did not want to hear him say no. I did not want to see her again. I did not want to feel small. That night, I looked at old photos. I saw us at school. I saw us at the park. I saw the picnic we had on my birthday. I saw his smile. I held the photo close. I closed my eyes. I said, "I miss you." The next day, I stayed home. I helped my mother clean the kitchen. I helped her fold clothes. She looked at me and said, "You are quiet." "I have many thoughts," I said. She sat beside me and said, "You were always a smart girl. You wanted more. You wanted to grow. That's not wrong." "But I lost him," I said. My voice was soft. She looked at me and said, "Sometimes life gives us hard choices, but we must not lose ourselves." I looked at her. I wanted to cry, but I stayed still. "Will he come back?" I asked. "I don't know," she said, "but if he does not, you will still live. You will still smile. Love can return in another way." I nodded. I hugged her. 2 days later, I went for a walk. I passed the clinic. I saw her. The girl from the photo, Alice. She stood outside the clinic. She was talking to a woman. Then she looked at me. Our eyes met. She smiled. I did not expect that. I gave a small smile back. She walked over. She said, "You're Amelia, right?" "Yes," I said. "I've heard a lot about you," she said. Her voice was calm. I did not know what to say. "He loved you very much," she said. "He waited. I think he hoped." I looked down. "I never wanted to take his heart," she said. "But he was lonely. I was too." I looked at her again. Her eyes were kind. I said, "I don't hate you." She nodded. "I didn't think you would." I said, "Please take care of him." She smiled. "I will. But you should take care of yourself too." Then she turned and walked back inside. I stood there for a long time. I did not feel angry. I did not feel bitter. I just felt sad. But also, I felt light, like I could breathe again. That night, I wrote in a small notebook. I wrote one sentence. "I came back for love, but I found myself." I closed the book and smiled. A few more days passed. I stayed quiet. I helped my mother at home. I walked to the market with her. I washed dishes. I swept the floor. But inside, I still felt heavy. I tried not to think about Scott, but my mind always went back. I saw his face when I closed my eyes. I heard his voice when the house was quiet. I thought about his hand in mine, about our walk to school, about the day I left. I wanted to go back to that day. I wanted to tell myself, do not wait too long. One morning, I went to the park near the school. It was early, and the park was empty. I sat on a bench and looked at the sky. The sun was soft, and the wind was light. I watched a small bird hop near my feet. It looked at me, then flew away. I sat there a long time. I did not check my phone. I did not take any pictures. I just sat and let the air move around me. I needed time to think. I needed to feel my pain without hiding it. Later that afternoon, I went to the store to buy some bread and eggs. As I walked out, I saw someone near the tree across the street. It was him. He saw me too. We both stopped. He looked unsure. I looked down. I did not plan to see him. I did not know what to do. But he crossed the road slowly. He came closer. He stood in front of me, not too close, just enough. We looked at each other for a moment without saying anything. Then he said, "Can we talk?" I looked around. The street was quiet. I nodded. We walked a little, then sat on a bench under a tree. For a few seconds, no one spoke. Then he said, "I didn't think you would come back." "I didn't think I would take so long," I said, "but I did." He looked down at his hands. He said, "I was angry at you, but also sad. I missed you for a long time." "I missed you too," I said. He looked at me again. "I waited, Amelia. I really did. But I was tired. I didn't know if you even thought of me anymore." "I did," I said quickly. "Every day?" But I didn't call. I didn't write. I thought about the right time, but time kept moving. He nodded. "Life does that." Then he said, "Alice is good to me. She makes me feel calm. She helps her mother at home. She likes simple things." I smiled a little. "That sounds nice." He looked at me again. "But when I saw you walk into the garage that day, my heart stopped. I thought I was okay, but seeing you brought everything back. I felt my heart beat fast. I felt the same." He sighed. "I'm confused, Amelia." I said, "Me too." We sat quietly for a few moments. Then I said, "I didn't come back to take you from her. I came back because I needed to say something." "What is it?" he asked. "I'm sorry," I said. "I'm sorry for making you wait so long. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I hurt you." He looked at me, and for the first time his eyes were soft again. "Thank you," he said. "That means a lot." We looked at each other, and it felt like old times just for a second. But I knew things had changed. We were not the same. He had someone now, and I had a different heart, still full of love, but more quiet, more careful. I don't want to make your life hard, I said. I just wanted to see you, to know that you are happy. He nodded. I am. Not always, but I'm learning. I smiled. So am I. He stood up. I should go. Alice is waiting for me. I stood too. Of course. He looked at me one last time. You will be okay, Emilia. I know you will. You too, I said. He gave me a small smile, then walked away. I watched him go. I felt both pain and peace. I lost him, yes, but I also found something important. I found the courage to face my past. I found the strength to let go. I walked home slowly. The sun was bright. My heart still hurt, but it did not feel empty. A week later, I packed my bag again. My mother sat with me on the bed. She said, "Are you ready?" "Yes," I said. "Will you be okay?" "I think so," I said. "I think I will be better now." She smiled and hugged me. "I'm proud of you." I went back to the city where I worked. I started a new job at a small office. I helped people with simple problems. It felt good. I talked more. I smiled more. I still thought of him sometimes, but it did not hurt the same way. One evening, I sat in my small apartment. I made tea. I looked out the window. The streetlights were on. People walked by. Some laughed. Some were quiet. I watched them and thought, life keeps moving. Even when we stop, it moves. We can't stay in one place forever. Not in our town, not in our heart. I opened my book and started to write again. Not to him, not for him, but for me. Just a small line. I came back for him, but I didn't lose myself. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. More emotional and inspiring stories are coming soon.